Game two of the NBA Finals goes down on Sunday night in Boston as the Celtics, fresh off their 107-89 victory over the Mavericks in Game one, they will look to go up 2-0 with a win in the second game of the series. The Mavs, they're looking to even things up at a game apiece. So let's recap Game one and preview Game two with a contributor to TrueHoop, my guy, Jarod Hector, joins us now. Jarod, what's going on, man?
I'm good, my guy. How are you?
I'm good. We're in the final days of the NBA season, which makes me kind of sad. But,
but you're also looking forward to a break, I know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a break because the playoffs, they've taken a little bit of a toll. I know you two. We're watching all these games. We're covering these games. The playoffs have taken a bit of a toll, and we are getting to the end, the final days of the NBA season, and we will crown a champion with the Celtics, as I talked about, being up 1-0 in this series. And, Jarod, I wanted to get your thoughts on Game one, which saw the C's rout the Mavs. Luka Doncic, he had a tough night with only 23 points. What did the Celtics do defensively to contain him in Game one?
So they took away a couple of things from him. One, they took away the lob threat and the ability for him to get some of his teammates involved, right? Luka's maybe next to Jokic and LeBron, among the best passers in the NBA, and he took away that lob pass. They also, Dexter, unlike any other team in the league, they can show him multiple bodies, and they don't need to send help, right? Between Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, even Al Horford can move his feet still at this advanced age. They just have the ability to show him multiple looks and multiple bodies, and they're relentless on defense. And when every shot is hard, it's difficult to get on a roll and do your thing. And the other thing to note from that game is Luka lives the free throw line. I think he went there 4 times, maybe in that game. So that's a big thing to look at as well.
Yeah, didn't get to the line that much as we usually see him do. We'll see what adjustments he makes personally to the Celtics defense in Game two. Now, the Mavericks, offensively, they struggled with shooting efficiency. What adjustments do they need to make to improve their offensive output in Game two? And also, when you look at the Mavericks, not like they did a great job on defense, what changes can they make on defense as well?
Yeah, so the Mavericks have a little bit of a math problem, right? I mean, the Celtics, we know their offense is optimized to hunt threes, and I think they beat the Celtics on the three-point line, plus 27 in made threes. They also took 15 more three-point attempts than the Mavericks did. The big thing I mentioned how they're taking away the lob from Luka. One of the things Luka likes to do also is when he's running the high pick and roll, that pass to the short corner for the wide open three. The Celtics take away the corner three, so they're not giving them that. So now PJ Washington and those guys got to shoot top of the break three or side corner three, and it's not quite as easy a shot as the one in the corner, right? Distance and all that, and that's making them a bit uncomfortable. So that's something they're gonna have to work on as well. I think in that third quarter they got their hands on the reins a little bit, and were able to get themselves a little bit more into things. But look, Dexter, ultimately, the path, you can see a path for the Mavericks to win the NBA Finals. It's clear. The Celtics just have a much wider path and more room for error, and that's all it comes down to. And so they're a better team in this situation. In terms of what the Mavericks can do better defensively, they can be a little bit more aggressive, but if they got to watch fouling because that bench isn't deep. And if they foul and get the Celtics into the bonus, that's a problem. Look, the Celtics have barely been in the bonus as a team all playoffs because they don't foul when they play defense. That's how good they are when they have guys like Holiday, White, Tatum, Brown, Horford. Even Porzingis was mucking up the paint with shot blocking and altering shots. They're just a top to bottom well-oiled machine.
And you saw for the Mavericks in Game one, guys like Derek Lively II get in foul trouble, and that really affected their defense and what they were able to do there in terms of trying to stop the Celtics. Now, as far as the Celtics go, a big Game one, great shooting night for Kristaps Porzingis in his return to postseason play. Do you view KP as the X factor for Boston, and does Dallas, do they have an answer to slow him down at all?
I mean, KP, he fully optimizes this Boston Celtics team on both ends of the floor, Dexter. They were the number one offense statistically in the history of basketball this season. Not just this season, number one in the history of the NBA, according to offensive rating of the Boston Celtics. They're also the number 2 defense this season behind the Minnesota Timberwolves. What does that mean? They're just extremely balanced. So Kristaps Porzingis allows them to be great on both ends because now you have a 5 who stretches the floor that forces Lively where? Away from the rim. So they can't rebound, right? And everyone is spaced out on that team, and Boston can either offensive rebound on their own or on defense end of possession. And I mentioned what KP can do in terms of shot blocking and altering shots. He was a menace. There was a play, Dexter, also where in that game where Luka tried to get KP on a switch, right? Because he's like, all right, this is the only guy I can hunt right here on this mismatch. KP saw that coming, pre-switched early to call out to, I believe it was Peyton Pritchard. Hey, switch onto Luka. I'll go out and guard your man. I mean, this team is fantastic. Will he shoot that well the rest of the series? Probably not, but he does so many great things for this team. I think he's just a real problem that the Mavericks cannot solve.
Yeah, it wasn't just the offense. It was what he gave on defense, as you mentioned, too. That was a huge factor in Game 1. What's going on Game 2 and talking about that a bit more, who needs Game 2 more, Jarod? Is it the Celtics keeping their foot on the gas and proving the doubters wrong? Or is it the Mavericks avoiding going down in a 2-0 hole heading back to Dallas? Who needs it more?
I mean, they both need it, right? Like, the Celtics win Game 1, so that now means the chances of the Mavericks winning the series have decreased by some percentage, right? Because they now have to win 4 out of the next 6, right? Which is difficult. If they go down 0-2 and have to win 4 out of the next 5, I mean, that's highly unlikely. So I would say the Mavericks for sure, because again, as I mentioned, their path to victory much more narrow than the Celtics' path to victory. So the Mavericks for sure don't want to be down 0-2. This ain't the Wolves, as they're starting to realize after Game 1.
Yeah, levels to this, right? Always levels to this and leveling up in the NBA Finals in terms of the competition the Mavericks are facing. Last thing for me, Jarod, how do you see Game 2 playing out? What's your prediction as far as who comes out on top in Game 2 and why?
I don't see it being a 28-point blowout, or 28-point lead as Boston had in Game 1. I do think Dallas will play better and the game will be closer. But look, even when they cut it to 8, Dexter, the Boston is just too good. You can't hold them down forever. You're not going to stop them completely from scoring. They're still going to find ways to score, right? So, again, you get down big and you go on a run. It took them a 20 run just to get it to 8, and they couldn't get any closer than that, right? Celtics jumped it back up to 20. So, to me, I still see Boston winning this one, going up to, the game will be closer. Look, they're going to need Kyrie and Luka to be excellent and be efficient and get everybody involved, and that's just a lot to ask for against this elite Boston Celtics defense.
Yeah, a lot to ask for, but the Mavericks do not want to go down 0-2. They're going to try to even this thing up on Sunday evening. Jarod Hector, contributor to TrueHoop, he will be watching for sure. As we're in the final days of the NBA season. We're all tired, but we're enjoying the NBA Finals. Jarod, thank you for the time. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.